What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Leviathan Ranks. Today we're going to predict the winner of the NCAA basketball tournament March Madness bracket. We're going to get the perfect bracket here, just letting you know right here, right now. So, got a lot of games to get to, a lot of time to spend. I'm going to be kind of breaking down a little bit of the closer ones, but a lot of the known winners is, yeah, we're going to get through that. All right, so first we're going to start with Duke versus Siena. Duke obviously is winning. Thank you for welcoming me to the bracket. I don't care. Duke is obviously winning. I don't think we had the two 16 beats ones. 16 beat Virginia and a 16 beat Purdue. I don't think that's ever going to happen again. It's very strange that it happened twice. Very strange that it happened very close. I don't understand, but I don't think that's ever happening again. Ohio State TCU. I think this is more of a toss-up. Either team can win, either one, but I think I'm leaning more towards Ohio State here. But that is a toss-up of TCU, Ohio State. I don't think either team is going to beat Duke in the next round, so I don't think this is really a bracket breaker. So we'll move on. Next, St. John's, Northern Illinois, or Northern Iowa, excuse me. I think St. John's is going to win this. They're a very good team. They're gonna go far. I think they would go farther if Duke wasn't in this side of the bracket. Continuing on, Kansas versus, I'm guessing that's California Baptist, but Cal Baptist. I think Kansas is winning. You got a blue blood team versus a team I've never heard of before. I'm picking the one that I know is a true winner. Here's another toss-up for me. Got Louisville versus South Florida. South Florida very hot right now coming in to the tournament. Louisville is a good ACC team. ACC is that basketball conference. So it's like, do I pick the mid good or do I pick the good mid? It's kind of a toss-up for me, but I think I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going to pick the team that's hot. And going on down here, again, this is not a bracket breaker for me because I have Michigan State winning both this game against North Dakota State and winning that next game. So that's not really a bracket breaker for me. Down here, we got UCLA and UCF. I'm going to pick the UCLA Bruins here. They're in a... Oh, no, they're not. I was going to say they're in a bigger conference, but UCF's in Big 12 now. Ooh. It doesn't really change my mind, but it makes me think about it a little bit more. Moving on, UConn versus Furman. If we were doing mascots here, Paladins would beat the Huskies every time, but this time I'm going with the Huskies. Let's jump over here to the top over here with Arizona versus LIU. Fins up. But sadly, Arizona's moving on. I love what they're doing over there in Long Island, but got to go with Zona. Villanova, Utah State. It might be biased because Villanova's been good in the past, but I think I'm going with Villanova. But this is another toss-up, just like the Ohio State TCU. 8 and 9, they can go either way. So it's tough, but again, not a bracket breaker because they're going to lose to Arizona in the next round anyway. Got Wisconsin, High Point. Going into March Madness, I was high on High Point. I was like, they're a good team. They're going far. I'm going to pick them to go far. And then they got put up against Wisconsin, and I was like, that's tough. Wisconsin's a very good Big Ten team. I don't think High Point has that caliber to go and beat Wisconsin. I don't think they're like Oakland in the past, but they might be. They might be that Cinderella that goes to the Sweet 16, and I'm rooting for them, but I can't pick them. So going with Wisconsin. Same thing here, Arkansas, Hawaii. Hawaii, another good team that I would have picked far, but they got paired up against Arkansas, the SEC tournament champ. So you just can't not pick Arkansas in this tournament. Moving down here, BYU, Texas. Texas advanced from the play-ins on Tuesday. I don't know. I haven't seen much about Texas. I haven't seen much about BYU either. I've heard a lot about BYU, so I think I'm going to go with BYU here. Um, However, again, it's not a bracket breaker if Texas does win because I have Gonzaga then beating them in the next round anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Here we got Miami, Missouri. I think this one's actually a bigger toss-up than most people are giving credit for. I think Missouri can beat Miami, but again, Miami, good ACC team, just like Louisville. However, this time I'm going with the overdog. What would you call it? Favorite? I'm going with the favorite. And then here, Purdue, Queens. Surely Purdue doesn't lose to a lower seed again, but it's Purdue. You never know. All right, dropping down here to the lower side of the bracket. Whoever Florida plays, doesn't matter. Florida's moving on. Clemson, Iowa. I haven't seen a single game of either one of these. I have no idea, so this one's a toss-up for me. Let me know down in the comments where you guys are flip-flopping on these 8 and 9s, because I have no idea. But I'm going with Iowa. I don't know why. I just feel like Iowa's going to be a better team. Maybe it's from football. I have no idea. I have no idea what's influencing me to go Iowa here. But either way, not a bracket breaker like all the other ones because I have them losing to Florida in the next round. Anyway, here, I've noticed a lot of people picking McNeese over Vanderbilt. Now, not a majority of people picking McNeese over Vanderbilt, but a large amount. And that kind of worries me because Vanderbilt's a very good SEC team that was runner-up in the SEC tournament. I haven't picked McNeese once in any of my brackets. So I don't know what they're seeing. I know McNeese makes runs, but I don't know what they're seeing that they're going to beat Vanderbilt. No idea. Here we got Nebraska, Troy. I'm picking Nebraska. Big team versus little team. I don't know. I think Nebraska's going to win that more times than not. Move down to North Carolina. Got North Carolina win that one. Sorry, VCU, but it's another blue blood versus a team I haven't heard of before. Then we got Illinois and Penn. Penn is like the main basketball team in the Ivy League, I guess. Penn and Princeton, those are like the two that make it every year, but they're not getting past Illinois. Illinois is a very strong team from the Big Ten. And then we got St. Mary's and Texas A&M. I think that this is going to be a close game. Texas A&M hasn't really impressed me this year like they have in the past. So I'm going with St. Mary's, but I think it's going to be a very close game. And then Houston over Idaho. If they were at home court, Idaho's home court, beautiful, amazing. I love that whole, what do you call it, arena? I don't even know, but it's Houston. What are we talking about here? Moving up here, Michigan versus Howard. Michigan, obviously. Georgia, St. Louis. I like St. Louis. I like everything about St. Louis. It's basically the Indiana State team from years ago coming in here under the disguise of St. Louis because it basically is. And I love their mascot. And as a Florida fan, I can't pick Georgia. So either way, not a bracket breaker. Whoever plays against Michigan is going to lose anyway. So let's pick St. Louis just to have a little bit of fun. Texas A&M, Akron. Not a shot, Akron. No MAC team is ever making it past whatever. I'm sorry to the MAC, but you guys are getting passed up by other group of 5 teams or whatever. Like, you're getting passed up by Sunbelt. You're getting passed up by CUSA. The MAC has just decided to sit in mediocrity, and it annoys me so much. But come on. Like, someone from the MAC needs to rise up. And NIU wanted to be that, to go to Mountain West or whatever. But I don't know. It's tough to watch. But that's my little rant for today. Sorry, Akron. Alabama, Hofstra, picking Alabama. And, speaking of MAC, we got Miami of Ohio here. Now, Miami of Ohio has not guaranteed their spot in the round of 64. So they went undefeated the entire season, going through the MAC tournament, lost to UMass. Okay? I don't think a team that lost to UMass can beat Tennessee. Now, SMU? Maybe. But even then, I'm picking Tennessee. We got Virginia and Wright State. Picking Virginia, another ACC team, very dominant basketball conference. I'm probably going to pick them more times than not. Kentucky versus Santa Clara. I'm picking with the Blue Blood over the team that I've never heard of before. And then Iowa State, Tennessee State. Picking Iowa State. They've been very good this year. We'll see how they do. And now we'll move up into round of 32. So we got Duke beating Ohio State, as I stated earlier. We got St. John's, Kansas. This one's going to be a good game. So, yeah. St. John's is hot. Kansas falling apart. Like, literally. Their guys are, like, dead and calling themselves out of the game. They're pulling Anthony Richardson's over here. So, I'm going with St. John's. And then moving down here, South Florida, Michigan State. Doesn't matter. UConn, UCLA. Picking UConn. Up here, got Arizona. And then... let's go with the SEC champ over Wisconsin. And then picking Zaga over BYU. And Purdue. Ooh. That doesn't feel right to me, but I'm going to do it anyway. We're going with Purdue to win that game. Florida over Iowa. I like Florida. I don't think they're going to win it all again. I don't think they're going back-to-back, but they're definitely going to go far. I think they're going to make the Elite Eight. But so, yeah, we'll see on that one. Vanderbilt, Nebraska. I got Vanderbilt winning, setting up another SEC tournament rematch. I'd like to see that. We got Illinois, North Carolina. This one's going to be close. I want to pick Illinois, but the Big Ten always disappoints me in this tournament. So I'm going with North Carolina. And then Houston, sorry, but you guys are moving on. Sorry, St. Mary's. Did I already do the top? I already did, yeah. And then we got Michigan, St. Louis. I'm picking Michigan. And then Texas Tech, Alabama. Ooh. Alabama's guy just got arrested. One of their starters, right? Or star players, someone. I think I'm going to take Texas Tech here. That's going to be a good one to watch. Virginia's going to take on Tennessee, and then I'm going to take Iowa State here. I'm going to take Iowa State. That's going to be a close one too. Man, we got a bunch of good games on our docket this year. Duke, sorry, but someone's going to need to stop Duke. I don't know who. Maybe UConn. Maybe Michigan State. UConn, Michigan State. UConn, Michigan State. UConn looks good, but so does Michigan State. This is a toss-up. This one's a good toss-up here. Michigan State didn't win the Big Ten. Purdue did. Michigan also didn't win the Big Ten. Purdue did. That's a good thing to keep in mind. I'm going to take UConn here. Oh, wait. I should stay up here. Arizona over Arkansas. Gonzaga over Purdue. And then while I'm up here, might as well. Duke over UConn. Gonzaga over Arizona. That's going to be a good one to watch. I'm picking Gonzaga to take down the first number 1 team. All right. I'm good. I'm good with that. That's a good one. So keep an eye out for that one. Florida gets their revenge over Vanderbilt. Houston takes down North Carolina easily. And then we got a finals rematch of last year. But we'll get to this side first. Michigan takes down Texas Tech. Virginia, I'm going to have squeak past Iowa State. Michigan, that one's going to be easy. Michigan's a good team. Florida, Houston, both of these could have been the ones Florida squeaked past Houston to become the one for the first time in their program history. Back-to-back ones. Can they beat Houston again? I don't know if they can. They don't have that clutch player like Walter Clayton Jr. I think this is where they fall. I think Houston gets past Florida here, which means that's the second 1 seed to fall, which puts me at a Duke, Houston, Gonzaga, Michigan Final Four. Now, if we think of there's that, oh, what is it? It's like a list of 6 things that for the past 25, 30 years a team has not, like, whatever. And that is a team that is west of Texas has not won a championship, which means Gonzaga is out, putting Michigan in the championship game. And a red team also has not won in like 25 or 30 years, which means I'm going to put Duke in the championship game. So we got Michigan versus Duke. And then this is where I stop, because I have no idea who's going to win this. Woo! My mind is spinning with stats and all the sorts of things. Can I look at this? Will it show me? Here we go. Net rank, first, second, 1, 2, 12-2, 9-2, fourth, second. Ooh, that's good to keep in mind. 82.3, 86.8, 96.1, 69.2. Why did I say not? What? Did I say 96? What? 63.1 and 69.2. Last 10 games, they went 10-0. They went 8-2. Team statistics, key players, out. All right. With that being said, I think it's Michigan. All right. Thanks to all. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe, because I post amazing content like this all the time. Sure. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.